Welcome back to Brain Boogerz, where we talk mental health, personal growth, and paths less traveled. I'm MJ, and today, we're talking about Ostara, the Spring Equinox, that moment when day and night call a temporary truce. Not because life suddenly gets easy, but because the math changes. The light and the dark finally share the room. Growing up, springtime in church was new life season. But it was a very specific kind of new life, a very performative kind of new life. Like, if it's Easter time, you're supposed to be up. You're supposed to be grateful. You're supposed to be shining. You're supposed to be walking in victory. And if you're struggling, grieving, depressed, anxious, broke, or exhausted, there was this unspoken pressure to act like resurrection energy fixed everything instantly. So you learn to smile through it. You learn to say, I'm blessed, when you're actually barely holding it together. You learn to confuse faith with emotional suppression. And I'm not saying everyone meant harm. Most people were doing the best they could with what they were taught. But sometimes new life gets weaponized into toxic positivity. Because real healing isn't a light switch, it's a thermostat. It changes slowly. It changes in cycles. It changes with feedback. And that's why I love Ostara. Ostara doesn't demand that you be all the way better. Ostara says balance first, then growth. Not fake it till you make it, not pretend you're not tired, not skip the grief and jump straight to the praise break. Ostara is the moment where you can finally tell the truth. I'm not who I was, but I'm not who I'm becoming yet. And that middle space, that's not failure, that's the season. So now, Ostara is one of the 8 Sabbats on the Wheel of the Year, seasonal markers that track the sun, the land, and the human nervous system. And don't forget, your body has seasons too. If Imbolc is preparation, clearing space, gathering tools, Ostara is emergence. The first visible sign that what you've been tending in the dark is actually alive. Not fully grown, not harvested, but alive. And the equinox matters because it's the reminder that growth is easier when your life isn't tipping into extremes. Ostara is the spring equinox, okay? So it's usually around March 20th or the 21st, the moment when day and night are roughly equal. From here on out, the days get longer, more light, more warmth, more visible life. If you live somewhere with real winters, you can feel it in your body, like your nervous system starts unclenching. Winter isn't over overnight, but the direction changes. Ostara isn't everything is fixed. Ostara is the conditions are changing. And the questions of the season become, what am I ready to nurture? What needs sunlight and what needs boundaries so it can grow? Because spring doesn't just bring flowers, spring also brings weeds. And part of Ostara is learning the difference between what's growing for you and what's growing on you. Now, here's where the anthropologist perks up. Because the spring equinox is one of those moments where humanity, across continents, across centuries, collectively said, oh, thank goodness we made it. So let's look at some global parallels. There's Nowruz. This is the Persian-Iranian New Year. This is celebrated on the spring equinox, with themes of rebirth, fresh starts, and nature waking up. This includes Kane Tekani, which is called shaking the house, also known as deep cleaning. It mirrors the Ostara theme of clearing space so new life can enter. Then there's Holi. This is in India and in Nepal. This is a festival of colors. This focuses on a social reset, forgiveness, play, reconnection. And this matters because it's the global reminder that joy is a community event. Then there's the Passover, a Jewish holiday, which is about the Spring Liberation Festival, or cleaning out. It's a ritual of removing what no longer serves, very Ostara. There's Easter in the Christian tradition that focuses on the resurrection and spiritual renewal. It's the Christian version of new life, often layered with spring imagery. There's also the cherry blossom festivals in Japan, where we have the Hanami, or flower viewing, It's the celebration of beauty and impermanence, a core Ostara theme. There's Holaria in ancient Rome. This was a festival honoring Sibyl. Celebrated around the equinox, it was one of the earliest recorded "we survived winter" parties. And then there's what the Mayans celebrated, the Chichen Itza Equinox Gathering. This is where the serpent shadow descends the pyramid. It's a literal architectural celebration of balance and return. Humans love a good seasonal metaphor. We always have. Now, let's talk about the significance of Ostara as it relates to community versus individualism. Modern life tells us to heal alone, to work on yourself, to grind your way into wellness. But historically, seasonal festivals were community regulation, a whole village nervous system exhale. Some of what we call healing used to be called being in the village. Philosophers like Descartes, Locke, and Mill helped build the idea of the individual as the main unit. Sociologists like Tanis, Durkheim, and Weber documented the shift from community to society, from kinship to contracts. And in the last century, researchers like Robert Putnam showed how civic life thinned out, less we, more me. But the equinox has a quiet lesson. You're not isolated, you're insulated. You live inside systems you didn't build alone. Growth happens in a web. Spring doesn't just reveal flowers, spring reveals timelines as well. Some people are late bloomers, not because they're lazy, but because their roots were busy doing root things. Healing, stabilizing, learning what safety feels like. And some people are early burners, the strong friend, the kid who grew up too fast, the person who learned to perform because slowing down didn't feel safe. Early bloom isn't the problem, burning through your season is. So if you're asking, why am I not further along? Ask a kinder question. What season have I been surviving in? Ostara doesn't reward the fastest bloom, it rewards the supported one. Roots count too. Alright, so let's talk about Ostara's symbols and sensory practices that can be integrated into your daily life. First, let's focus on eggs because we all know that with Easter and Ostara, eggs is a big deal because eggs show potential with a shell. Eggs are potential, not proof. An egg is a promise with a boundary. Sometimes your next season needs protection, not exposure. There's also rabbits, the return of safe energy. Rabbits multiply fast, yes, but they're also symbols of play, movement, and curiosity returning. Play isn't childish. Play is regulation. It's how your nervous system practices safety. Then there's also flowers. This is about beauty and impermanence. Flowers remind you, this moment is here. Don't sleep through it. And of course, seeds. They're small, but specific. A seed is not vibes. A seed is a plan. If you don't choose the seed, you still get a harvest. And what about the colors? Colors are cues. Your brain reads them before you consciously do. For example, soft greens inspire new growth. Green signals renewal and safety. Yellow for returning light, where yellow activates alertness and warmth. And floral colors. Pastels are about gentle emergence. Pastels mimic early spring with soft, tentative, and hopeful hues. And then there are floral colors, pink and lavender. These colors cue blooming and emotional openness. And if you want to keep it simple, do one green thing and one yellow thing. That equals Ostara. Well, what about scents? Scent is nervous system regulation. Your brain doesn't just notice scent, it tags it. For example, citrus, the scent of fresh start, or lavender, the scent version of unclenching your jaw. And what about rosemary, the scent of clarity and focus? And florals, the scent of opening. And of course, it's not a Sabbath without good food, about bringing community together to feast on what you've worked on. what you've grown, what you've anticipated. So, you already know, Ostara food is fresh and hopeful, but still realistic. You know, eggs or vegan alternatives equal new life, greens equal new growth, honey or maple is for sweetness returning, citrus for that brightness, and bread for the nourishment and the we made it. Okay, so now we're going to cook a good Ostara meal. We're going to integrate some recipes here, and I hope that you have some fun with this. So let me give you 3 Ostara aligned recipes that bring together the colors, scents, and foods of the season, plus a ritual beverage to go with them. These are vegan, sensory, symbolic, and grounding. First recipe is a vegan lemon herb spring frittata. This is the edible version of sunlight in a pan. It's bright, green, and fresh. The kind of food that tells your nervous system, we're coming back. The ingredients include 1 block of firm tofu, a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch or chickpea flour, lemon zest and lemon juice, turmeric, fresh herbs, greens, green onions, olive oil, and maple or agave. And here's what's up. So you're gonna blend the tofu, the nutritional yeast, the cornstarch or pea starch, the lemon, turmeric, salt, and pepper. You'll saute the greens and onions, pour the tofu mixture over, and bake it at about 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes, after which drizzle with maple or agave. Now, look at the yellow and the green. These are the colors of return, and say quietly, what I nourish will grow, what I tend will strengthen, I welcome the light returning. And then take a bite. Let the season enter your body. Alright, and let's try recipe number 2. This is also vegan. It's a citrus lavender loaf with rosemary glaze. This loaf is the sensory embodiment of Ostara. Bright, soft, floral, and grounding. Here are the ingredients: flour, sugar, a plant milk such as oat, almond, coconut, or soy, oil, citrus zest and juice, that would likely be lemon, some maple and or agave, some lavender, baking powder and soda, and a rosemary glaze. You're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, mix all the wet ingredients, and then mix the dry ingredients, and then combine them gently. Bake for 45 to 55 minutes, and then glaze with a rosemary lemon icing. You can hold the warm loaf, feel the heat, the warmth of return, and say, may sweetness return to my days, may clarity return to my mind, and may softness return to my body. Take a bite, and welcome the season. Okay, and here's recipe number 3. A spring herb and lemon barley bowl. This bowl is grounding and awakening. It's earthy, barley meets bright lemon. Roasted vegetables meet green goddess drizzle. And it's the edible version of I'm coming back online. The ingredients are barley, radishes, carrots, asparagus, lemon, fresh herbs, a vegan yogurt or silken tofu, garlic, and olive oil. Your instructions are to cook the barley, roast the vegetables at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, blend the dressing, assemble the bowls, and finish with a lemon zest and herbs. You can look at the bowl, the greens, the yellows, the soft pastels, and say, I ground myself in what sustains me. I open myself to what awakens me. I welcome the season of return. And take a bite. Let your body register. I'm allowed to grow slowly. Okay, and here's that drink. I did mention that I would get you a drink, so here's the Ostara ritual beverage. It's a citrus rosemary sparkling tonic with a lavender steam sip. So this is a 2-part ritual beverage, a drink, and a scent ritual. Because Ostara is as much about the nervous system as the palate. The ingredients are, for the tonic, sparkling water, citrus juice, maple or agave, rosemary, and some ice. And the lavender steam is hot water and some lavender buds. Here are your instructions. Muddle the citrus and rosemary and maple. Add some sparkling water and ice, and pour hot water over lavender for steam. Hold the lavender steam, close your eyes, inhale a long, gentle inhale, and say, I soften, I brighten, I return. Sip the tonic, let the brightness lift you, let the rosemary ground you, and let the bubbles remind you that movement is returning. Now, what about those who want to celebrate Ostara in the city or in nature, solo or with a group? City Ostara can involve opening a window, changing one thing in your space, or bringing in one green item. Nature Ostara could be looking for signs of life, new buds, new flowers, new leaves, offer gratitude, and pick up trash as offering. A solo ritual could be setting one boundary, doing one brave action, and holding one breath with your anchor scent. And with a group ritual, you can share what you're overdoing or underdoing, swap support, or share a simple meal. Ostara teaches that balance isn't boring, it's stabilizing. Growth doesn't have to be dramatic, it can be quiet, consistent, and supported. You don't have to force a bloom, you can support the conditions. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs a healthier version of new beginnings, and maybe a different way of looking at the Easter, Ostara, Spring Equinox season. In the next discussion about Sabbats, we'll be talking about Beltane. This is the fire festival of aliveness, connection, and joy, with consent and nervous system safety, because we're grown. Until next time, keep growing, keep reflecting, and remember, every season has something to teach us. And join me next time, where we'll pick and dig in on Brain Boogerz.